Hey, welcome back to our channel. I am Jill Smith. I am one half of the Smith Serve. We are a mission-driven company that helps nonprofit founders develop their nonprofit organizations for sustainability, growth, and impact. So if you are a nonprofit founder with a nonprofit in business less than 5 years, or if your nonprofit generates less than 50,000 in revenue, you are on the right channel because we're primarily serving you. All right, so first things first, if you are watching this video from our YouTube channel, please make sure that you join the Founders of Nonprofits Facebook group. I'll put the link at the bottom. And if you are watching this video from the Founders of Nonprofits Facebook group, make sure that you subscribe to our channel. All right, if you are struggling to develop your nonprofit, you don't know what you're doing, you're stuck, you're at a standstill, I highly recommend that you take our free, absolutely free nonprofit development training, the 6-figure nonprofit. I will put the link at the bottom. I think that's all the announcements. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. This is a New Year video that I must get out. This is I'm going to give you some best practices that has been in practice with several of my clients for many years, and it's proven to be successful for them. And some of the things also that I do as well. So I want to share them here. All right. So today we are talking about 3 strategies that you should be doing in January that I highly recommend that you do in January to increase and to help your revenue throughout the year. All right. So 3 strategies to do in January. All right. So I'm going to jump right in because I want to make sure you put these in play as soon as possible, because today is January 1st and I'm recording this video. All right. So the very first thing that you should be doing is creating. You should be creating something. The Bible says in Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And if we're believers, which I am, we're believers that God is in us, then he gives us the blueprint and to have a prosperous and successful life. And so the very first thing he tells us to do is to create. Did you know that most best-selling books are they're like watered down versions, or they take a big portion of their concepts from the Bible. And so if God tells us to create, then we should be creating. And so creating this month is vital. Start creating something this week. And it can be something as simple as creating a YouTube channel, or creating a new program, or creating a product to sell to increase revenue for your nonprofit. It can be creating a t-shirt. Create a t-shirt so that you can sell as a revenue generating and boosting your revenue. So that is the very first thing you should be doing immediately. You should be creating something. The very next thing you should be doing is you should be developing partnerships this January. Partnerships. And let me give you a strategy that is that is proven to be, this is one of the things that I have done consistently over the years, and it is a success strategy. You should be developing partnerships, and the best way to do it is do it during the Martin Luther King weekend, which is dubbed the Day of Service. So what you can do is you can reach out to a nonprofit in your area. Reach out to a nonprofit and partner with them and ask, how can you serve them? How can you volunteer? How can you go in and create some type of partnership? And as a result, a lot of times what happens is that you can offer programs and services, or supplement some programs that they do not have. And so say if a nonprofit, there's a big nonprofit in the area that have an after school program. Maybe your program, I don't know, have something to do with pets. Maybe you want to partner with that nonprofit where you get the after school program students to learn how to care for dogs and cats or whatever. But that's a good way to form some type of partnership. But do that type of partner. Go out and find a nonprofit or a couple of nonprofits and introduce yourself and form some good partnerships and see how you can serve another nonprofit during the Martin Luther King weekend. With that, you can also do, which I have several clients doing, is that they take that weekend, that Martin Luther King weekend, to do a board retreat. So their board will meet locally at a hotel. They'll have a board retreat. It's their time to reflect on the year before. It's also their time to plan for the upcoming year. But also, as a board collectively, they will do some type of service, provide some type of service to the community, maybe go to a soup kitchen or some type of service that they'll do in support of another nonprofit. So you definitely want to take advantage of the Martin Luther King holiday weekend, and particularly that Monday, which is the day of service. So this year it's inauguration, but that is a good weekend to serve and to develop new partnerships with other nonprofits. And the third thing you want to do is you need to seek out your foundation grants, your foundation grant funding opportunities. All right, seek out your foundation grant funding opportunities because they do exist, especially those who are just starting out. You might not get a big, $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 grant, but getting some type of grant funding is very helpful. And so I know a lot of you all who are in the Founders of Nonprofits Facebook group. A lot of you all have gotten the Walmart grant. And so that grant comes out 4 times a year. And so it is, I believe that the first one for this year is going to close in February, I believe. But yeah, so you want to do that this month. You want to do that in January. You want to get your plan, your funding plan, or your foundational grants plan, because you want to start sending out your query letters. A lot of deadlines, or a lot of grantors post their funding opportunities in the beginning of the year. By the end of the year, they've run out of funds. And so you definitely want to take advantage of grant funding opportunities, particularly foundation grant funding opportunities this month. Make out your plan and send your query letters, send in your grant proposals and all that great stuff this month. Of course, you got to go by the deadlines. Whatever the announcement says, of course, you got to adhere to the guidelines. But this is the month to do it. You will need a grant. I highly recommend that you get a grants database. It is a great investment. I recommend one of your startup costs. And so I recommend Instrumental. There's a link at the bottom. You can try it out for 14 days, absolutely free. Instrumental has not just your foundation grants, but your local and federal, state government grant opportunities in their database as well. So those are the 3 things that I highly recommend. There's many other things that you can do in January, but those are the 3 best practices that I've seen success that helps my clients as well as helps us increase our revenue throughout the year. And so it is create something, whether it's a program or a product, whether it's create a new YouTube channel or social media platform, whatever it is, be in your creative mode. 2 is develop partnerships, and particularly do some type of activity with another nonprofit during the Martin Luther King Day of Service weekend. And then 3, you want to go ahead and seek your foundation grant opportunities. All right. sending out those query letters. There's a query letter sample in the Activate toolkit, all right? So if you want to know how to, and there's a sample grant proposal template as well in the Activate toolkit, so that you can know how to approach grant funding opportunities very strategically. All right, so that's it from me. And I hope this helps you. And yeah, so Happy New Year and much success and blessings. And let's get to work, because the people needs us. So all right, so let's get to work. All right, be blessed. Bye-bye.